Guys, we absolutely smashed 1,000 subscribers and now we're on the road to 2,500 where I'll be doing yet another giveaway. All you've got to do to enter is like this video and subscribe. Hey guys, we are back with episode 4 of Use or Fuse, and this video is all about Lucius. And oh my god guys, this hero is probably my favourite tank in the game right now. His skills are absolutely phenomenal. But first of all guys, we need to see his story and learn his background. Alright guys, so let's go through his story. The House of Landward is well known throughout Asperia. Lucius, the eldest son of the house, bears the burden of generations of expectation. Lucius began learning how to fight with a small sword from early childhood and became an adept fighter by the time he reached adolescence. If it weren't for his young age, he almost certainly would have been sent off to war. A person with his skills is greatly sought after for the battlefield, but Lucius was an inherently kind boy. He would seldom join the hunts, and even on the rare occasion he had to, he never fired an arrow at any prey. And while sparring with his peers, Lucius would often feign defeat if he thought he was going to hurt an opponent. Lucius thinks of life as something to be cherished and protected. He'd always preferred the temple with its candles and quiet hymns to playing with the other children. It was always Lucius's wish to become a medic, but not surprisingly his parents disagreed with this notion. House Landward had a proud martial history. As a member of and heir to the house, Lucius would continue the traditions of his forebears. At the age of 15, he was sent to join the king's forces and was given a place in the cavalry as befit his station. Although he fought valiantly, his comrades were often confounded by Lucius' actions. He would often tend to the wounded before the fighting had fully stopped, occasionally even dressing the wounds of injured enemies. His odd behaviour led to him becoming estranged from his peers, but this didn't present him with any real difficulty. Between the fighting, he would divide his time between the temple and the stables, praying to the Jura and tending to the injured horses. So basically guys, Lucius, although in this game he is an amazing tank, he actually wanted to be a medic and help the injured heroes and his allies. And apparently the enemies as well. One evening he went to tend the horses as usual, only to find them all laid out on the floor, blanketed in blood. Standing among the carcasses was one of his comrades. He looked at Lucius with glee, thoroughly enjoyed the scene he had created, the trouble he'd caused. These horses are no use to us anymore, they can't ride again, they're useless, just like certain others amongst us. The man sneered and looked Lucius in the eye as he spoke. Lucius's unorthodox combat practices had made him some dire enemies among the cavalrymen. He stayed in the stables that night and never returned to camp again. It was several months later, on one dark autumn day, that the Maulers decided to raid the lands of men. This sudden attack caught the cavalry off guard. It was simple butchery, and they were dealt a crushing blow. Unable to form an effective battle formation, the ranks were broken time and time again until they were finally routed. Left strewn across the battlefield were the dead and injured. The injured were shown no mercy and were hastily dealt their final blows by the vicious Maulers. The men were in a full retreat when a luminous bright light shone down upon the enemies. At the centre of the light, a figure stood straight, his white armour glimmering. An instant later, hundreds of thundering war horses charged forth towards the battlefield. The sight of Lucius standing there in his brilliance rekindled the courage in his former comrades to return to the field of battle and push the Maulers back to where they came. So, essentially guys, although his comrades hated him, Lucius actually saved the day from the Maulers, and it appears that the Maulers seem to attack the Lightbearers quite a lot. But yeah guys, that is Lucius's story. Basically he wanted to be a medic, but his parents didn't like the idea of that, but he didn't care anyway, so he became a medic, and because of the time he spent healing his enemies, his own allies started to hate him. But yeah, quite an interesting story there, guys. So if you've got Lucius, you'll know that he is an OP tank. He is literally the best tank in this game right now, and I actually managed to get him a couple of days ago, but currently only have one of him, so he's useless to me at the moment as he's only elite. But once I get one more, I'm going to make him legendary and he will be my main tank. But to discuss his skills, so first he's got Heaven's Protection. Lucius blesses all of his allies with a divine shield that mitigates 500% damage for 8 seconds. So when you're playing in story mode or labyrinth or wherever you're playing, this skill is crucial to keeping your team alive. Basically they're immortal for these 8 seconds. The shield that he produces is crazy, and that's why he's such a good tank, because he's not only blocking damage, he's basically completely blocking any damage. Divine Blessing. Lucius heals the ally with the lowest health for 200% of his own attack rating, and then raises their defense rating for 5 seconds. So not only is Lucius an amazing tank, he's almost kind of a healer as well. Divine Strike. Lucius smashes the ground with his Warhammer that causes a shockwave, knocking nearby enemies over, while also dealing 130% AoE damage to them. So once again, he's a great tank, a great healer, and he can also deal some nice damage too. And then Blessed Shield. Lucius forms a Blessed Shield that greatly raises his defense rating for 5 seconds, making him an even better tank. To be honest guys, is Lucius use or fuse? If you ever fuse Lucius, you have made a huge mistake. I don't think there is another hero I could confidently more say, do not fuse this hero. If I can get another Lucius, I will never stop using him. He's crazy good, guys. His story is a little bit on the boring side, but him himself as a hero, yeah, he's the best tank in the game, guys. So if you have got him, huge congratulations to you. And if you've got him legendary, I am super jealous. But thanks for watching, guys. This was episode 4 of Use or Fuse, starring Lucius. And next episode, we'll be talking about Thane, and after that, we'll be on to the Maulers, who just love to attack the light bearers. So hopefully we'll hear about that as well in their stories. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.